Hello, my name is Aaryn, and today I'm going to be talking about books that I read and I loved and liked, 4 or 5 star books. Yeah, if you ask me, Aaryn, what happened in this book? I would not be able to tell you at all. This was inspired by some situations I've been in where my friends describe a book, and not even like a book, but just a scene really. More like a scene, because some books I do remember that I suggest, and just a certain scene that was just so not small, like maybe relevant to the plot, but in the grand scheme, which is all the magic of it, was pretty small. I cannot recall. OMG, Aaryn, I've been reading Red Queen and absolutely loving it. And do you remember that scene where that guy totally hit on that girl right in front of that other guy that liked that girl, and then they made that eye contact like, yeah, boo, I'm beating you? I think I recall that a little bit. And then that scene totally left on a cliffhanger, because then we went back to another POV. Or how about that totally iconic scene when Mare went and she rode a mare, then the mare acted just as stubborn and crazy and stupid as she does, and it was super symbolic of the book and just her character. I mean, I've known I'm probably boring you because you've read this book before, you probably already know all the tea that's coming up, but honestly I just have to chit chat about it, you know? Yeah, I'm just so happy that you're reading this book and enjoying it just as much as I did in the past. I mean, those scenes, I remember them perfectly. It totally caught me by surprise. Yeah, just so vivid in my brain. Totally. Was that an actual interaction I had? No, because honestly, I mean, I recommended Red Queen to people, but loosely. I mean, I know you like trash as much as I do, so just go ahead, read Red Queen. No expectations, just fun. I mean, the whole actually talking to myself about the book part, now that's for I talk to myself about books all the time, and I'm totally not a psychopath. I just mean I really have no consistent friends around me, and sometimes you want to talk about a book but no one's reading the book with you, or no one has read the book, and even if they have read the book, sometimes they also just don't really remember it, and it's oh dude, I don't want to buy them, you know? So it's who I'm gonna talk to? I know, I'm gonna talk to myself, because myself's my best friend, you know? Well, good. Anyways, I guess that was partly my inspiration for this video, and I'm gonna get into it now, because who wants a long intro? Anywho, the first book I'm talking about is going to be a book that I'm not really sure I've talked about on my channel. I mean, I really like this book. It's fine. But, you know, it's just been a really long time since I've read her. And let's just say that The Secret History is definitely a secret history to me. Look at my earrings. Yeah, I have no recollection of this book at all. I know that it was about a bunch of rich white people. And you know, I think there's murder involved. I can't even remember who was doing the murder, and well, I can, but not in detail, you know. I know there's a lot of drama, and I love the book, but I also didn't love it. It's kind of weird. I appreciate the book. How about that? But at the time when I read it, I was in 7th grade going to 8th grade, so that summer. So it was probably a little bit too adult in terms of just the situations and what was going on. Mom, do not worry. Adult does not equal erotica in this situation. Am I going to reread it? I don't want to. I'm just not in the mood to reread it right now. I'm sorry. I'm going to eventually, because I'm pretty sure I could probably take away a lot more from it and be more interested in the things that are going on, the drama, the tea, the soup. Yep, I don't know why I call it the soup, because it's always hot. Bam! The next book that I absolutely adore, I love this book so much just because I remember all the feelings I had while reading it. However, I absolutely cannot remember a single thing except for the huge moments, and it's kind of sad. And I just want to say, you guys can call the police. Go ahead, go to your microwaves, put in 911, and I'm sure the police will be right on their way towards me. Anywho, do not remember Crooked Kingdom at all. I can't recall a single thing. I remember lines from Six of Crows. The whole entire duology in general, I just remember lines from it. I remember Cass was I'm a businessman, and Nez was you're a thief, Cass. And Cass was isn't that what I just said? I just love that interaction so much. And it wasn't until I actually started rereading, did not finish rereading Six of Crows up here. I'm in the biggest reading slump. I have not finished the book in a really long time, and that is why you guys did not get a wrap up. I'm super sorry, but there's nothing to really wrap up. So yeah, just so many iconic like lines that I just love and I remember so, not even in depth, but just so perfect. I did not really remember the context for it, so now getting that context back, for example, when everyone knows that you're a monster, you need to do every monstrous thing. I really could not remember that scene at all, but then I finally reread it and I started squealing. Or have you guys ever like reread a book and it's like you don't remember like the big stuff, but then sometimes you're like approaching a certain scene and subconsciously like you can't remember what's going on? For me, like personally, like as a person, like personally, the best analogy would be kind of like if you asked me to give you directions to my school. I'm not going to be able to tell you how to get there. I know it's kind of sad, but if you ask me to just drive to my school, subconsciously I just know every single turn. I know exactly what streets you need to go on. Like I just know how to do it. So it's almost like that. Like if you ask me what's about to happen, I guess in Six of Crows, I probably could not tell you, but like whenever like those little scenes came up, I'm like OMG, like Kaz is about to say this, it's gonna be perfect, and then boom, it happened. So just really, really deep down my memory. Anywho, I do not remember Cricket Kingdom. Roast me all you guys want. I remember certain like horrible events. Next up, I have a book that I absolutely adored. First time I read it, I read this humongous book in a day. Let's just say really illuminated my reading experience. It was definitely out of this world and it's totally out of my mind. And that's Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I was gonna say Mary Lou, but I said that's not right. She just kind of made the cover art, right? Right? Didn't she do that? I think she did that. Am I wrong? Probably. I'm always wrong, never right. Professional idiot. So I read Illuminae, I think in 2017. I don't know why I read it. I remember I got my scented candle from Owl Crate before I read that book. No, I didn't. Did I? Maybe. I don't think so. I'm lying. I just remember like around that time I got like a scented Katie Griffin, is that her name, candle from Owl Crate, is when I read this book. So it could have been a little bit after, a little bit before. Either way, I know it's like a really long time ago, so that's why I'm doing the explaining here. I cannot talk ever. Literally, guys, it's so embarrassing. Sometimes I'm just talking to people and it's like, yeah, you know, I did this and blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna restart. Yeah, I did this the other day and it was just really fun. And then if it's like a rando person, they're kind of like, can she not talk? Does she have a speech impediment? The answer is yes. Literally, this book is so humongous. I finished it in a day. I remember I was so intimidated by it and I was so terrified. Did not think I was going to finish, but I did and it was just so much fun. I do remember certain scenes. This is like spoilery but also not spoilery, so just continue at your own discretion. I will try and add a timestamp. I always say I will and then I forget. However, I did add timestamps to my favorite video ever. Reading hate reviews about my favorite books. Like I was saying, the kind of like spoilery thing is just simply that there's a scene where like just a bunch of people died and you know this book has like a bunch of illustrations throughout it that are just really beautiful. I hope that my camera's capturing it. I'm not sure what my angle's looking like, to be honest. Like just super beautiful. And there's just a certain page of just all these people that died from a situation. I just remember crying my eyes out, and that is actually a lot for me. I am very sensitive when it comes to reading. Sometimes I am not all that sensitive. It's kind of funny. So being able to cry over this scene about people dying that I actually had no personal connection to in terms of just them as characters, them being characters, I had no connection to these characters. It says a lot. It just says a lot about the story as a whole and just how impactful and just how into it you truly are while reading it. Like some books, there's just certain books when you're there, like you're reading it and everything is just so vivid and it's almost like it's more of a movie than the actual book. But then there are certain books sometimes require reading where it's like you're processing and taking in the information, but it's longer this thing that you're just fully immersed in it. It's like both times your mind is in it, but like with the first one, your mind, your soul, your spirit, your body, your heart is in it, and that is what makes me love reading. And I have not had that since I read the Knife Kate Daniels book. And so the fact that I cannot read Gemini or Obsidio yet because I have no idea like why certain things happen in that book that I recall, or just like how everything went down, like why are we here? I just don't remember it. And so I want to go in having all the information possible so I can genuinely give it a rating and maybe a smaller review on a wrap up one day. But I just don't have that time or motivation because there's just so many other books that have come out recently that I've been trying to get through. I did finish Sorcery of Thorns earlier this month. I was reading it all throughout July, and I know this because I went to California this year during July. I do not know if you guys know that, but I did. It was very fun for me. So I finally got through that. Currently getting through Wilder Girls. It's not all what I thought it was going to be, actually. It's kind of crazy. Then I'm going to be reading The Wicked Fox because I just heard so many great things. And then Caraval, my friend Taylor got that for me, so I want to read that for her. And also, just so many people have been liking Caraval, which is funny because I remember reading like mixed bad reviews. So I want to get to Illuminae, and maybe I should to get me out of a slump. But then again, I would just hate, like I feel so guilty for not finishing Sister Crows. And it makes me undermine my own love for that series. And it makes me just feel so inadequate and so uneasy. And honestly, I'm getting so far away from the video. We're only on book 3 and I have like 6 more books down below. But part of this is me like just sharing my thoughts and opinions and my feelings about reading and just books in general. So that's why I'm trying to just talk about it. But I just feel like I'm a fake fan now for not finishing that reread. But I was just so unmotivated. And I want to get back to it. I want to finish it, but it's just so hard reading right now for some reason. I do not know why. I've been working, I've been going to school, I've been trying to stay on top of my AP classes, but it's just, we're only a weekend, so I don't know when it's going to get easier or if it's going to get easier. So yeah, the next book I have may come as a little bit of a shock. I'm not actually sure, but either way, I have no recollection of The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I knew details, like, oh, this character portrayed this other character by doing this. But if you were to ask me, like, to describe a scene from, like, Jude and Carden first glance, I do. I have a better time reciting the Declaration of Independence. Honestly, this is a bit of a lie. Because I did not love The Cruel Prince at all, actually. I gave it 4 stars because I feel like I was obligated to. I used to be the type of person who, like, if someone else loved the book, I feel like I had to love it too. For example, if someone I knew loved Furyborn today, let's just say, oh, a random friend of mine, Robin. Let's say that Robin liked Fury. I would then feel like I had to like Furyborn, which is obviously not the case. But it's almost like, well, if someone else could find these great qualities about this book, then surely I can, right? Walls, my guy. I was getting kind of worried because I've been talking for so long and so much my mouth is hurting, but I actually only have 3 more books down below, so we doing good, baby boo. Next up, we have a book that did not carry on over into my brain. It's almost like you like snow, and it snowed, but the snow just did not stick. It's almost like you remember the pitch, you remember the idea of it all, but just not like the outcome of it all. These puns are getting horrible. It's Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I hope all my puns made sense. You have Simon Snow, you have Bass Pitch, and then you have Carry On, which is, I feel like explaining puns make them worse. But some people just don't know. They don't know the story. Carry On was another book I was definitely intimidated by because of the size of it. I mean, this is a paperback, and it's pretty big for a paperback in my opinion. And also, I feel like I could not read it because, to be honest, when I read Fangirl, I loved Fangirl, but I skipped every single Carry On scene in that book. Another book that I read a day, absolutely loved, really intimidated by it. Cannot recall at all. I remember a makeout scene because I am a pervert. But other than that, it's really not clicking at all. I remember a thing that happened to one of our main characters towards the end. I didn't really think it was a big deal, but like, it was a big deal, but not like dramatic. So it's kind of funny that it was dramatic. I want to talk about it, but I don't want to spoil anyone. It was like, it wasn't, okay, it was dramatic, but it wasn't more like, okay, it was like very dramatic, it was very shocking. It wasn't shocking like, it was more like this. Oh my god. Yeah, that was probably really bad representations, but that was how my reading experience went. The next book I loved but cannot remember is the book that I read in 2016. I absolutely adored it. I consider it one of my favorite books until one day I was reorganizing my list on Goodreads, which I need to go do really soon. And it was on there like on my favorite standalones, and I removed it because I was so guilty by the fact I could not remember it. Although I have my favorite books on my list, I cannot remember. Either way, it is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. Don't even know why I got this book, to be honest. I have not read another single piece of work by Morgan Matson. I want to read her books since she's been gone. I want to read something like her Sweet Like Sugar, Sweet as Ice Cream is Sweet, Me Like Ice Cream. But I remember that it was a girl, her dad's a politician, her dad like loses his job, so all her summer plans are canceled because there was like a scandal. It was almost like if your daughter was Olivia Jade, and let's say that you did something really bad as her parent, which let's just say your parent's name was Lori Laughlin. I don't know, totally cheated your daughter into a really high competition school. Just a hypothetical situation here, and then you were found out, so then your daughter like loses all of her scholarship, and now you're walking dogs this summer. Was that what happened to our main character here, whose name I cannot remember? You go, generic brunette. No, not all brunettes. Let me clarify. Not all brunettes. Just this generic brunette. Not the actual girl that's playing her, okay? Not the actual girl that's modeling on the front cover. Which, let me just say, I usually hate covers that have like actual people, but I actually really like this cover. It's really cute. It's just really cute to me. I think it kind of conveys the feel of the story. I could be wrong. I do not even remember it. Oops. She's embarrassed. Anyways, Morgan Matson wrote The Unexpected Everything, and as expected, I do not remember everything. Okay, last up, finally, you're at the end of this video. Well, not the end, but like the end before the end. The beginning of the end. We have Percy Jackson. I read Percy Jackson 2016. Let me just tell you, if I read a book in 2016, there is a very low chance that I, number one, remember it, number two, liked it, and number three, give it an actual true to God rating on Goodreads. I promise you, I go on Goodreads and I see books that I read at 5 stars when I first joined. Like, for example, I'm gonna give this book a 5 stars to make friends. Devils Wear Prada. Have I ever read Devil Wears Prada? Heck no, but I like that movie, so I justified it. But Percy Jackson is one of those book series that I remember having so much fun with. I wish I would have read this series when I was a lot younger, but sadly at the time I actually grew up a really on and off reader. I read occasionally. I just remember like cracking up and just having so much fun. And it's really sad to me because I know I had the best, greatest time ever. And like, you just have so many great memories associated with all these books, really. And you can't even really appreciate them as much as you would like to, because it's like, but what exactly am I remembering? Like, I remember being happy, but why was I happy? That's why eventually I would like to reread all of them. I know I said I didn't want to read The Secret History, but in actuality, I do want to read it. I just feel like I have so many other books to read, and that is one of the worst feelings ever. But yeah, that's the end of this video. So hopefully you guys don't even judge me at all. Like, why would you guys judge me? This is not like when I said, OMG, I own these books. I just haven't read them yet. This is more like, OMG, I read these books, I own these books, I love these books. I just have the worst memory ever, and as you get older, your memory fades, especially about really unimportant minor things. So be nice, as always. Maybe some of you guys are not that nice, but I still talk to you guys because I like mean people, to be honest. I do like mean people. I do. I really do, actually. I make videos every single week. Avoid last week, guys. Some things were happening. A reading slump can and does equal a video slump. I'm so sorry. I am kind of slowly getting out of that though, which is why I tried my hardest to record today, because I want to make more content and I want to be here for you guys. Well, not for you. With you. I want to talk to you guys, because you guys remember how I started talking to myself about books? Probably not the healthiest thing in the world. Give this video a thumbs up just so I know that you guys enjoyed it. Bye, see you, love you, always. I adore you, my little sugar bookas. Okay, I love you guys. Bye. This was another random flashback I have because my grandmother has dementia. And the other day my mom asked me, Aaryn, like, do you remember when this happened? I said no. And my grandmother was just in the car with us and she said, now don't you start acting like me. And I think about it and I laugh/cry all the time. So I don't know what you're gonna do with that information, but my grandmother has dementia, made a joke about her own dementia. So, okay, see you.